If you knew Maggie like I knew Maggie, oh, what a girl. Maggie Lee and I knew each other on and off for a long, long time. And she told me a lot of stories about Maggie, of course, and then others besides. When Maggie was born, January 3rd, 1921, in the old hospital, which now looks like an old house, the electricity went out. Maggie and the other children, who were tiny, were wrapped, and the oven was heated and turned off, and they were bundled into shoeboxes and put into the oven because the incubators weren't working. And for Maggie, it was wonderful. She got a great start to life. She went through the Northfield schools. She was an only child. When she graduated from high school, she went to the cities and took a course at a college where she became a bookkeeper. So she was bookkeeping in the cities. Her parents were still living on 10th Street. And Maggie would take the train back and forth to visit her parents and her friends. Now, on one of those trips, Margaret Phillips, whose mother was also a reporter, she and Maggie were sitting together, and she said to Maggie, "Oh, by the way, you know, the news is looking for a bookkeeper." When Maggie got home, she said, "Mom, the news is looking for a bookkeeper." And her mother said, "You already have an appointment, dear. It's at 7:30 tonight." We all know Maggie got the job. Then with World War II going on and men becoming scarce because they were various places waiting to be killed, she was asked by Carl White, "Maggie, do you think you could write an article?" And Maggie, her usual humble self, said, "You bet I could." By the time World War II was over, she was no longer a bookkeeper. She was now an official journalist. She was very good at what she did. And one of the things that Maggie was absolutely sure of was that anything that went into print that she had to do with the Northfield News, would stand up in court. She didn't need to gossip. She really did know all the facts. Being a woman in journalism was not easy, but Maggie was really good at not easy. And before long, she was editor of the News. Not right away. It took a while. And she was the only newspaper woman editor, not only in Minnesota, but one of the few women newspaper editors in the United States. A lot of people knew Maggie only toward the end of her life, and she was always dressed in purple. Her mother, Fern with an E, was a milliner for the old Dayton store. Maggie remembered that one of the final hats that her mother had made was a wonderful, large hat, purple, with all of the trimmings. So when Maggie was 65 and looking at all of her friends dressed in black, she thought, well, I guess black is covered. The hat. I'll try purple. And from 65 until she died, you never saw Maggie dressed in any other color. As long as she could. Maggie was not only part of Northfield, but Maggie had Northfield a big part of her. When Maggie's funeral came, she had a wonderful send-off at Emmaus Baptist Church. We bid her a fond goodbye, and she's buried at the old Northfield Cemetery across from the high school, the same area where her parents are buried. So if you're looking for Maggie, you can find her. She's still around.